Hey guys, just wanted to take you on a quick trip around the garden to see how everything is growing at the beginning of spring. So we've had a bit of a cold start to spring. It was really hot for the first few days and now it's dropped right back down, and we've even had a couple of frosts at night as well. So we've kept what we can well protected in the little greenhouse, and they will be planted out once the temps come consistently above 10 degrees at night time. So in this garden here, we've still got our garlic growing absolutely bonkers. This is our biggest one here, so that's one of the elephant garlic varieties. And then we've got a whole array of different garlics in here, from Tasmanian gourmet garlic. So in here we have our little chili plants. They're starting to come back to life. This one still doesn't have any signs of life. That one's the one that I cut right back at the beginning of winter, and I tried to overwinter it. I'm not sure how well it's going to go. It is still green down here. It's still very much alive. I just haven't seen any more leaf growth on it. However, it is sitting in quite a shaded space as well, so it might do better when I move it into the sun, or once the sun starts coming over towards the middle of spring. So these are a couple of cabbages that just didn't do very well. I just haven't pulled those out yet. I'll use what we can off them, and then the rest of it will just go to the chickens. That will make them super happy. Got some chives in there as well that I used a bunch of the other day for beef stroganoff. That was amazing. So in here we've still got the last of our baby broccoli. They've got those beautiful open florets on the top of them, and they're just such a great producer. They just keep producing over and over, which is such a great crop. Especially for your brassicas, they can be such a disappointment when you put them in for so long and there's no yield, or if you have pest issues, that can also. Over here I've just planted out a couple of, if you can see it under there, little tomato plants, little seedlings, sorry. There's another one in here as well. I'm not sure what variety they are. I just planted them. It'll be a bit of a surprise when they start growing their tomatoes as to what variety they are. In here we've still got our little thornless blackberry that is growing so beautifully in there. Super happy. All the leaves are really great colour, nice and purple when they first emerge, and then turn to this beautiful green colour. A friend of mine gave me a heap of calendula seedlings, so I've just popped those all around our garden, and they should start flowering within the next couple of months, and they'll be great for the bees. There's another one there, and then I've got another one over that side of the bed as well. So over here we've just got our beans emerging, the start of our Blue Lake climbing beans. They were such a prolific producer last year. I will never ever grow dwarf beans again after growing these guys. If you've got a trellis, I highly recommend the Blue Lake climbers. I had two, I think, last year, two stalks, and they were just such fantastic producers. Highly recommend. So these are potatoes. I found a couple of seed potatoes that I hadn't planted out yet, so I've just popped those in. That, I believe, is a sweet potato slip right next to a potato. That shouldn't matter though, they grow on a vine, so I'll just pop it trailing over the edge of this bed, and it will lay down roots in the bed wherever it needs to grow its tubers. There is another one over here somewhere as well. I'm not sure where. I'm sure it will. There it is. So that's another sweet potato slip. Still got our big cabbages in here. They are looking magnificent. We'll grab those leaves off of there, make up a big stew or something like that with some cabbage in it, or even some cabbage and bacon. That goes great with silverside. We've got our big, stunning looking silver beets over here. We love silver beet here. We use it in place of spinach. It's just such a beautiful, easy growing vegetable. Great for the kids. Really high in iron. This one here is a little flower I bought from the local hardware store. I have no idea what it's called. It just looked like such a beautiful flower, and apparently they're really great for the bees. I did have the name of it. That's how I knew they're good for the bees. I can't remember what it is now. Another sweet potato slip. Again, I'll just let that go wild in this garden and lay down its tubers wherever need be, and hopefully we'll get a really good crop of sweet potato this year. I have got a zucchini in here as well. I'm not sure how this is going to grow in here. It's actually doing probably the best in here out of all the zucchini seedlings that I did plant, so fingers crossed for that. It's the first time I have grown zucchini this year. We use a lot of zucchini in pretty much everything that I cook. Just splits it up with some capsicum and tomatoes and onion, and use it as the base of a lot of our sauces for stews and for spag bog and all those really delicious saucy dishes. I have no idea what these are. I think they're going to be sunflowers. I hope so anyway. That one over there as well. I don't know what it is I planted. I never name anything. It's always just a surprise what pops up in the garden. That's another sweet potato slip. I just popped them everywhere because I had so many of them. They were just growing out of the cupboard, so I just popped them in the ground. Over here, this is a form of kale. We actually don't eat kale. I'm not a huge fan of it. I actually grow this for the chickens, so it's really good at all your leafy green vegetables. Will make for really beautiful, vibrant red, well not red, but dark orange yolks for your chickens. Same with capsicums. Capsicums will make your yolks go a lot more yellow, a lot more deep yellow, beautiful colour. So we've just got the emerging seedlings for the corn, which I'm so excited about because I was terrified that they were not going to come up. With all the cold weather that we've had, it has definitely delayed their emergence, but they are definitely coming up now, which is so exciting. We love corn. We eat a lot of corn. This is a little zucchini that got attacked by something one night, and it's just starting to come back now. These are its second true leaves. The first true leaves got eaten, which was those two here. These are the two seedling leaves, and yeah, so hopefully that one comes up as well. If not, we do have a few others scattered around the garden, so we're definitely going to get some zucchinis. This one's a potato plant that just self-seeded, same as that one over there. I didn't plant those two. They just come up every year and they produce a few really nice, good sized potatoes. So fingers crossed again. That's another calendula seedling. That one's another zucchini. I did have over here, it keeps getting squashed. Something keeps coming in our garden overnight, maybe a rat or a possum or something, and it keeps scraping around the garden and unfortunately eating some of our vegetable seedlings. I can cover them up, but no, it's too much effort. Anyway, and I'm a lazy gardener. That's a zucchini again. This is a self-seeded tomato, so it's going to be one of the varieties that I have planted before. I've usually stuck to the small varieties of tomatoes to date. I've been told that they're a lot easier to grow than your big varieties. The big ones tend to be quite difficult to keep the pests off them until they're ready enough to pick, ripe enough to pick. So this year I am going to try a few big varieties of tomatoes so that I can hopefully make some passata. But yeah, we'll see how we go. That one's going to be another small variety, which is great for lunch boxes. Another little, I think this is another sweet potato. Yes, it is. Another sweet potato slip. And then I don't know what these are. I have no idea. Maybe some more sunflower seeds. I planted. This one is a thornless blackberry that someone in town gave to me. It was two tiny little stems when we got it, and in this huge big pot, and it has busted out of the pot now, and I'm pretty sure it's going everywhere underground, which I have been told that they can be a bit of a nuisance, but they are the thornless varieties, so I'm not unhappy about that. We eat a lot of fruit, so it's neither here nor there to us. I'll just try and keep them under control as best as I can. This one I do want to keep under control because it has enormous thorns on it. Again, I was gifted this by a local gardener. This one is a thorned raspberry, and it's got some violets, I think she said, down the bottom there as well. so hopefully we get some flowers on there, be good for the bees. Over here we've got another tomato seedling that was self-seeded, so this will be another small variety tomato, maybe a cherry tomato or lemon drop or something like that. This is a self-seeded potato. I didn't plant that, it's just popped up by itself. And then over here, I've accidentally grown side by side. I planted a bean and forgot that I planted it there, another Blue Lake Climber. And then I also planted a cucumber here as well. I'm just gonna leave them, they'll be fine. I'll just make sure I give them extra nutrients, but both of those are climbers, so I'll let them climb up this big trellis here that we've got. So I watched this back before I realised that I forgot to actually tell you guys what I was doing here with these blueberry plants. I've been testing the soil pH in these pots recently and realised that it's sitting between 6 and 7 on the pH scale, which is extremely alkaline. Blueberries are acid-loving plants and like an ideal pH between 4.5 and 5.5. So to rectify this, I bought some granular sulphur and I've added 2 heaped tablespoons to each one of these pots. I didn't mix it into the soil, however I did water it in quite well. I opted not to use a liquid form of sulphur for this because I believe it washes through the pots too quickly. The downfall to granular sulphur is that it does take some time to break down. It breaks down by way of the soil microbial activity, breaking it down into a form of sulphur that the plants can use, and this unfortunately can take between 2 and 12 months. And last but not least, we've got our 2 little capsicum plants that we overwintered, the last of the 2, and they are growing some beautiful growth now. They should be popping out capsicums in no time at all, I think. Another little calendula seedling down there. We've got another Blue Lake Climber. That one's not doing as well. I think it might need a bit more nutrients to get it to kickstart. And then we've got another little tomato seedling in there as well.